This is 40K Today. 40K news so cool that the Wolf clans on Fenris use it as snow during their summer. Just kidding. They don't have summer.
Hello and welcome to the 40K Today show, where we do a daily dose of 40K adrenaline straight into your veins every day of the week. We get competitive on the tabletop. We paint and kit bash with the best in the business. We find hobby tips and we meet the most amazing people in our all-around awesome community. Today is Monday, the 27th of July, and on the show, we get an update from Adam at the Army Painter, and we chat with Stephen Box about his Learning to Play 9th edition video series. First up, though, we have got a poll question live on our Facebook page. Let's get to it. Our 40K Today poll question of the week is a simple one. Indominus is finally here. Which half of the box are you more excited for? Let us know in the comments if you split it with a friend or started a new faction. Make sure you come to the 40K Today Facebook page and sound off. We'd love to hear your opinion. Well, if you've been sleeping under a rock, you might have missed it, but we are running a huge contest giveaway where you can win a $1,500 shopping spree of the GW products of your choice. It's a great way to start a new army. One of our sponsors for this contest is the Army Painter, and they stop by to talk about new stuff on the horizon, including some fancy new metallic paints. Adam Abramowitz from the Army Painter, welcome to the show. And let me just take a moment and thank you so much for stepping up and the Army Painter stepping up and being a sponsor for our 9th edition celebration contest that we're running. And for those of you that don't know, we have a contest that's as easy to enter as going to 40kprizes.com, enter your email address, and you are entered to win a lot of really great prizes. Here today, we're here to talk to one of the sponsors, the Army Painter. So Adam, go ahead and introduce yourself and let's talk about what's going on at the Army Painter.
Hey everybody, it's Adam from the Army Painter. First and foremost, am I eligible to win? Because I would love $1,000 in models and coaching from the Art of War. I think that would be. I'll donate if I win. I will donate my Mega Paint set. I promise.
You are not eligible to win, unfortunately. It is spelled out in the terms of service. But
okay,
I know, brutal.
We can't. Well, I did get my hands on an Indominus box set, and I have a couple more on the way. I was very, very lucky to do so. So, I just wanted to throw it out there. As of the next couple of days, I'm going to have some great tutorials painting up these new fantastic models. And we're going to showcase how to use the Army Painter method using our color primers, war paints, quick shades. I even use some of our effects paints. And if you pay careful attention, you'll notice that in a couple of the tutorials, I am using a yet to be seen line of paints. It's some new metallic paints that we are testing here at headquarters. I've got the prototypes and I was given the approval to go ahead and start using them and testing them on camera in these tutorials for our fans and our customers to see. And we've got some really great colors like Evil Chrome, which is perfect for the new Necrons. It's almost like GW read our minds when we started developing this new metallic paint set. And there's this great new red color. I'm painting one of these to match my good friend Red, the worthiest adversary, the coach and captain of the Army esports team, to match his Necron force. And I use this really great red metallic. We're calling it Gemstone. And I think it's really cool. You're getting to see me use it for the first time on camera. So it's been really fun producing these videos, and of course using these fantastic models from Games Workshop, some of the best I've seen and gotten to put paint on. So I'm really, really enjoying this. So you'll have to stay tuned this week. If today's Monday or Tuesday, we should have one coming out this week at the beginning and at the end of this week, this Friday too.
Okay, so that sounds like a great resource. Not only, let's say you're new to the hobby, you picked up your Indominus box set, you're ready to start painting your guys, and then you can sit down with Adam and sort of have him walk through the process of getting your stuff table ready so you can play the game, right? So I think that's pretty cool.
Just head on when you go to your game store, whether it's Gigabytes Cafe in Atlanta or Wizards Asylum in Wichita, or the brand. My good friend of mine just opened a shop up near Sacramento. It's called the Shark Tank. If you're going into those shops, I know that they've got an Army Painter paint rack there. So get your box set, figure out what chapter you're going to color, what dynasty you're going to color. We should have a color primer that's perfect to get those models base coated, and then all of the associated war paints to pick out those details.
Okay. I should also mention that there's a lot of ways to win with the new contest, right? And we are giving away 8 mega paint sets from the Army Painter. I got it right this time.
You did a good job.
And you want to tell everybody a little bit about that paint set, what's in it. So what are they getting if they win one of those paint sets?
The mega paint sets, it's an awful lot of paints. It's our number one selling item in the Army Painter range, which is absolutely mind blowing to me. You see in some of these Army Painter fan groups and fan pages on Facebook and the like, that, it's almost like, you know, they've just beat this video game that they've been working. They've unlocked the secret. They've beaten the final boss. They now own an Army Painter Mega Paint set. While it's not the complete range, it's all of the top selling paints from the range, and it also includes a Wargamer Insane detail brush inside. It's a fantastic way to basically round out your hobby. It's all the paints that you'll ever need. But if you ever did need a few extra, we do sell an upgrade set, and that is all the paints that are not included from our 124 paint range to the Mega Paint set, or you can go ahead and get yourself a complete paint set if you're not one of the lucky 8 winners.
Yeah, absolutely cool. And like I said, there's multiple ways to enter this contest. So like I said earlier, it's very easy. You just enter your email address at 40kprizes.com and you're entered to win. That's all you need to do. But every day we're adding additional ways to win. And I think what you'll find is they're pretty simple. So if you visit the Army Painter on Facebook, for example, you can get another entry. So do me a favor. These guys have donated a lot of prize support to make this a really cool contest for you. If you guys could, jump over to 40kprizes.com and then support them by just following them on their social or checking out one of their videos. All of these things help them quite a bit. And the last thing is, just for listening to this interview, we're going to use a keyword. The word is going to be gemstone. So again, we talked about that gemstone paint, that red metallic paint they were talking about. If you go to the 40kprizes.com and enter the keyword gemstone, you will get 5 entries into the contest just for listening to us talk about
Holy cow. 5 entries. Just for saying
absolutely
gemstone.
Yep. It's like clicking your heels and being Dorothy, right? There's no place like home.
Exactly.
Those red heels.
Yeah. Missed opportunity. We could have called it Ruby Red Slipper or something like that.
Oh man. The next one, right? The next paint. All right. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate your time.
No, thank you, John.
Make sure you enter that keyword gemstone at 40kprizes.com for 5 extra entries into the contest. Today's episode of 40K Today is brought to you by Frontline Gaming. Frontline Gaming is a one-stop shop for all your Warhammer hobby needs, discounted products, American-made gaming mats and terrain, and a full line of miniatures painting service and daily hobby content. And this can all be found at frontlinegaming.org. Welcome back. Are you a brand new player and wanting an intro to 9th edition, or are you a seasoned vet and just want a refresher on the rules changes? Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics has put together a great little 9th edition video series to get you started. Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics has joined us from across the pond, and you've got a new resource for new players coming into 9th edition that you want to tell people about that?
Yeah, the course is called Learn to Play 9th edition, and what I just wanted to do is really help people go beyond just some of the core mechanics. So how do we start to put some of the core phases of the game into some sort of practice with some game theory? So not only do I show you what these phases actually look like, but I show you on the table. So I get down with the models, the dice, and I show you some different examples of actually how these things can work out in 9th edition, but then also some advanced tactics. So for example, ways to, really maximize your psychic phase if you're using multiple psychers or getting around deny and all that kind of good stuff. So it's the basics of, 9th edition with some advanced tactics, and it's completely for free.
Completely for free. That's really cool. So let me ask you, how long is a series? Like how many different, what kind of investment do you get from people to kind of go through this and sort of get their feet wet with 9th edition?
Well, there's about 4 different modules, and then each of those modules can contain anywhere between 2 to 6 different lessons. So we've got a little module on, for example, the army construction, and then a little module on how terrain now works with obscuring and dense terrain, and with some other things in terms of engagement range, and then consolidation. And then we've obviously got all the phases of the game, which are then broken down into sub videos, so you can easily categorize and go back and watch the ones you want. So yeah, it's kind of it's been quite an investment of my time to get it all together and polished off. But yeah, I think we've got 1,000 people signed up for it already before it's gone live. And these all came about from watching my video on Vanguard Tactics YouTube channel, which was just learn to play 9th edition for real beginners. So it was a real simple video to sort of whet people's appetite. Like I said, very much for beginners. And this sort of takes it to those people that are either transitioning from 8th to 9th, or maybe getting back into the hobby, or maybe watch that video and want to take their learning to that next level.
Very cool. Well, we'll definitely put a link to that video in the show notes. So let's go ahead and give listeners a little bit of value. What would you say is the number one thing that they need to learn coming into 9th? Like, where do you start?
Well, it all for me revolves around the mission. You really need to understand how the mission works, how scoring works, and ultimately then start to build your army around the mission design as well. But the most important thing is, once you've kind of mastered the phases, is understanding, okay, well, how do I do all those things to maximize my ability to score at the tabletop? So we now will all be using the same rule set, which is absolutely fantastic, the same mission set. And yeah, once you've mastered those phases, and I kind of break down when you should advance, when you shouldn't. So should you be advancing to get on an objective, which is going to score you points, versus, taking the hit on that you're not going to be able to shoot that unit, for example. So it's really understanding, okay, here's the core mechanics of the game. And once you've mastered how to score and being able to maximize your ability to score on the primary, and what secondaries work for you and for your army, what units score certain things and what don't, and maybe what units give up a lot of secondaries and what don't, then you can really make the right decisions at the list building phase, and then also when you're at the tabletop, picking the right secondaries against your opponent.
Yeah, I think a way to sort of summarize that is the mission is how you win the game.
Yep.
So building the army to play to the mission is a good first step forward, right? And then having a plan once you get to the table, which includes what secondaries you're going to try to take from your opponent, what secondaries you can score, and how you're going to score the primary, which might include putting durable units on objectives, or putting objective secured units that move really fast to steal objectives from your opponent, things like that. There's a lot of strategy that kind of goes into 9th edition. That's going to be very different than 8th edition. So everything that we sort of knew before doesn't really apply to 9th edition. I mean, there's obviously some things that do, but the mission is so different that it really requires an examination from the ground up. And I think this video series will help people at least start them down that path. Now, it's not going to have all the answers. It's not going to tell you to do A, B, C, D. It's going to tell you to think about A, then think about B, and then think about C, and then you'll come to your own conclusions. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about having that ability to think critically. And as I always teach people, it's all about analyzing your behavior or actions or decisions, and then, refining it from there. We're not born an expert in 40K, and I'm not even talented at 40K, but I tell you what, I work hard at it. And it's the people that work hard and who put the work in will get and reap the reward, so to speak. So I just give people the tools to be able to come to their own conclusions, like you said. But yeah, you summarized that really, really well, John.
Yeah, and I mean, in this vernacular, working hard is just thinking about the game, right, and going through it in your head, and then playing enough to reinforce what your thoughts are. So it's kind of a two-step process. You think about it, you go test it, and then you go back and rethink about it some more, and based on the new information that you learned from your testing. So,
absolutely, yeah.
All right, Stephen, thanks very much, and I look forward to checking those videos out.
Thanks, John.
That was my good friend Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. He puts out all kinds of great stuff. Okay, folks, let's get pumped up. It's time for Model of the Day.
It's the model of the day, the model of the day, the model of the day.
Today we have a one-of-a-kind riptide done by Dyson Demons on Instagram. It's an explosion of color that literally jumps off the screen at you, but once your eyes adjust, you see the amazing amount of detail that has gone into this model. The cross-hatching done across the model adds visual interest and makes the model look like it has survived a ton of battle. Curse you, shield drones! This model has to be seen to be appreciated. If you have a model that you think should be featured on the show, tag it with hashtag 40K today, and we'll come find it and we'll feature it on the show. And that's it for today. A big thanks to our content producer, Alex Painter, our amazing social media Wonder Woman, Tanya Gates, and our technical producer, Seamus Ronan, for all their hard work once again in putting the program together. If you like the show and like to help us out, we'd love it if you left us a review. Those reviews help people find the show, and we are extremely grateful for everyone. Well, until then, everyone, for the 40K Today team, I'm John Damaris, and that's what's happening in 40K Today.